Yeah, it's already on.
There's some.
Connie?
Okay, I have surplus equipment that's on our inventory I have to get rid of. Our postage meter that we've had there since the beginning of time quit working, so I've replaced it, but I need to get permission to dispose of it.
That's it?
That's it. Pitney Bowes 5820 postage meter. Thank you.
How old is that thing? Does it got a date or anything on it?
No, there's nothing on here.
Does it still do,
Everything says unknown.
does it still do 2-cent stamping?
But we just use it for scale. So.
Oh.
Sheila, anything? Theron?
Always. On Monday, I will ask to do the financial commitment letter for Community Crossings 2026-1. Likely it will be signed outside of a meeting. Maybe I'll have it by Monday, but definitely that week. And then the construction agreement with NDOT for the pavement markings came last night, so likely it will come to your email soon, Terry.
Well, it's NDOT contract for LaGrange County.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sign it,
It's okay.
I
When
can-
you do, just let me know what day and we'll make it retroactive.
so I can sign it. When do you want me to sign it?
Whenever. Right? That's okay?
We've approved this.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
This is the project that we had last year. This is just the construction phase. It's one of those weird ones that has lots of
This is
phases.
the one that's got the 3 phases and
Yeah.
you gave me a contract
Mhm.
for the other and I was asking for the documentation and
This is
the
it.
documentation. Got
Yep.
it.
Okay. So whenever you sign that, just let me know, Terry.
I'll do it today.
Okay. Okay then. And then Aaron says Monday is material bid openings. And then he wants to request an emergency purchase using Kurt's office for the bucket truck. He will write a letter stating how and why it's necessary. We are one storm away from not being prepared.
This is that bucket truck
He's
they get
talked
rid
to you, Terry, and Ben
of.
Bedford.
Yeah. He's been talking to your office.
Yeah, he's been
So-
talking to Ben.
Good.
That's what the note says.
Yep, I talked
I
to him
believe you.
yesterday about it.
It's didn't ring a bell to me.
And he's worried if we have a storm, they have no way to clear branches, trees, nothing. They got some high winds coming up this weekend
Okay.
because their truck is outdated.
I think somebody already bought it.
We probably already got rid of it. That was one we
That's
had
on Monday?
certified, yeah.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. I'll go find out what's going on. Thank you.
He says he's gonna write a letter.
Sure. Emergency purchase of a bucket truck.
Council
Mhm.
approved funding. Yes.
Okay, they did? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
He did. Sorry, I should have
Gonna
said that
ask
too.
about money.
Up to 200,000, but that also included a chipper.
Does he actually have one picked out?
He's been talking to a guy.
Okay, talking to a guy, he's talking to
I
a
haven't
guy.
been talking to the guy, so I don't really know the details.
Okay.
But it's a guy with a name that I feel like I should know, but I don't know.
The council approved the money yesterday. So that's good.
I signed it.
Oh, fantastic.
Tuesday night, it was-
It's not just DocuSign, it was tap.
Oh, I like DocuSign. It's so
Like
easy.
DocuSign.
So when you sign them, you need to send them to me because
I can't send them to you.
You can't download what you sign?
No, because NDOT doesn't sign it until after.
They
he
gotta
signs
sign it, and that's gotta
And then they
sign it.
send it to me, and then I send it to you.
Then she gets it, then you get it.
I try. I would say at least over 50% I send it to you. I sent you one like just the other day.
Sure, sure.
I know. You get there. That was it for me.
Jerry, Kim,
It's a big one.
I'm just requesting to be on the schedule for Monday to review the reassessment bid.
You ready to award on
She'd
Monday?
actually award and approve a signing of the contract.
Yes.
$750,000, $187,500 a year, just so you know.
How much?
$187,500 a year. $750,000.
What's this for again?
It's just for reassessment.
Yeah.
We're already too damn high. Properties reassessed keeps going up. Okay. Where's that money come from?
There's a fund dedicated for
Oh.
reassessment fund that gets property tax. revenue.
Council has a printer.
I'll check and make sure. I think
What's
she
that?
knew the numbers
Council
in
has
the
a
budget
printer.
before, but I'll verify.
Alright. Robbie.
I think she has a bunch for us.
So last night at the plan commission meeting, we had 3 rezone petitions. There's one.
Okay.
Here's the second one. So the first one is over in Shipshawana. It's by the ENS Sales new building. Through the process of building the new building, they ended up wanting the new, another building for storage. So to do that, they had to rezone. It's approximately 1.5 acres. Butts right up to their B3. The Plan Commission gave it a favorable recommendation, and it'll be certified to the commissioners yet today. So I'd like to have it on the agenda for Monday.
And that's, it'd be going from A2 to B3.
Correct. It's 450 East Berkshire Drive. The second one I gave you is out here west on US 20. There is no address for it. It's right next to the pipeline property. Paul and Darlene Miller would like to rezone approximately 25 acres from A2 to industrial I1. He would like to move his lumber business from 100 north, 300 west to this location. The Plan Commission also gave this one a favorable recommendation.
Must be, you said, was it on
This
20 or
one.
9? Oh,
It's on 20, yeah.
okay. Sorry, I'm a little slow. I told you that yesterday.
It's all right. So again, that one will be certified yet today to the commissioners, and we'd like to have that one on the agenda for Monday. I'll get you a parcel
And
number,
it's-
Kathy.
It's just the hatched part of the property. not
Correct,
whole
it's the
property.
lower southern portion of their property. Their address is actually 2090 west, 50 north. So it's on the south side of that, butts up to US 20. The third one is up here on State Road 9. It's just north of 2575 North State Road 9 here in LaGrange. There was asked to have a rezone of approximately 29 acres from B3 to A2. The Plan Commission gave that an unfavorable recommendation, and it will be also certified to the commissioners today. They believe that the best use of the property is to leave it at the B3. There's B3 property around it. There's several businesses around it. So that was their reasoning on giving it an unfavorable recommendation.
Which one is it on here?
Can you see it? It's
The dark red?
in dark red. It looks like a.
Those?
Shows the one
It's
9.
outlined in blue.
Oh, right down here.
Oh,
This is one of those where you guys always have some
It's a
degree
real
of,
weird looking.
trouble communicating with it. They reject the proposal.
Correct.
We'll get taken care of and we'll help you with.
So that's right south of John Deere.
Correct. Well, DNS, there's John Deere,
Yeah.
DNS,
Right
Naked
north
Ground,
side.
then
Yep, there's
Orange
that
County
open field
Regional.
there.
is
Mhm,
that the one that's been for sale forever?
Correct.
Mhm. Very standard.
He wants it rezoned to B3?
He wants, it is B3, he wants
Oh.
to rezone it to A2. And it was given an unfavorable recommendation because of all the B3 around it, and that they do believe that the best use of that property is for business. It's the corridor. it's
Otherwise you have a
State Road
bunch of
9.
driveways going in and out of there too.
A lot of discussion on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of good discussion on it. So those are the three items I have for Monday. Was there something you wanted to discuss with me, Terry?
Yep.
You bet.
I would like for, these guys bringing up money, give you guys a recommendation for planning and zoning, but I'd like for you guys, the planning and zoning, to work on a density plan for LaGrange County for these chicken barns. I got a phone call the other day. I'm getting more and more of them now because they're popping up all over the place and they're putting them on top of other chicken barns. And I mean, it's just, the one gentleman called me, he's worried about the water table because they have a bunch of going around him. He's got other feeding operations. And the problem is that he's noticed his water tables went down. The wells around the area, and not only him, just his neighbors too. And it's been a dry year. That hasn't helped, but by putting more of these feeding operations in, we're just taking resources out of the ground. And then on top of that, I go around here and I see the manure piled up at these places. Where's it going? I got 14 of them around my house within a mile. So they just keep putting more and more on top of each other, and there's another new one going up on 1,000.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it, but I think we need some kind of density program or something so they can't put them so close together. I've seen the map with all the stars on it. It's something else.
It is, yeah.
But we bring it up Monday, and if you guys are, we'll talk about it if you want to do that or not. But I think it's something we need to have them look into.
I can tell you, it was discussed last night at length after our meeting, with manure piles, and there's going to be a letter going out. The Amish community is going to have a letter going out to everybody to take care of them. And it was an Amishman last night that
But
talked
where's it going to go? That's my concern, because they all say they got these.
They think it's worth a lot of money, Terry, and they want it. There's farmers that'll pick it up and spread it for them.
Well, they said that and I've heard that before, but then they're spreading on the same fields over and over and over again. And I mean, and especially on that west side, all that sandy soil gets down in the water table. I'm just curious. I was going to talk to the health department. I wanted to test my water again. I'm just kind of curious to see what's in there, because we haven't tested it in a long time. I mean, I've got osmosis in my house, but for drinking water and that. But I'm just kind of curious what that's like, because we got real sandy soil over there, and that, and that.
So do we.
I'm just a lot of this counties like this,
We
but
don't have the green dots that you have, though.
no, but they're coming that way.
Well, they are.
You start thinking about it, you're seeing more and more heading that way. So,
3 of them just north of me now going in.
but
Big ones.
but I just we'll do that Monday. Give the planning and zoning direction.
Those are dirt floored ones too.
They do have.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
All right. Thanks, Jenny.
There's no arguing with you. It needs some stuff. I was glad to hear them talk about it.
Not for the agenda, I don't believe, but United Way is ready to do their annual campaign. We would like to do it October 27th through November the 7th. Denise is going to be present for open enrollment, so that way she will have a table with some stuff to pass out. And if you're okay with the annual campaign starting, she would also like to know if she may attend the department head meeting in November to just share what United Way does specifically in LaGrange County with department heads.
We allowed to do that, Kirk? United Way coming into department head meeting to
I mean,
put their sales pitch in.
are your department head meetings, do you have a quorum of commissioners, or is it?
No, it's
so-
usually
so
just
they're not
one.
posted, so they're not a public meeting,
No.
right? Well, I mean, you can allow it, yes. Is it recommended from my perspective? No,
Probably not.
but you can allow it, yes, it's
Yeah.
legal.
I didn't know if it was or not. I just, I don't know what you guys think. Who's going to be at the next department head meeting?
Sounds like he is.
Depends on what it is. What day is it? The next department head meeting,
It's
remember?
November,
Be the first
it's like the third Tuesday, 19th.
18th.
17.
Tuesday's the 18th.
Tuesday's the 18th.
I'm looking at the calendar. It says 18th.
The
Okay,
18th
18th.
Department head, November 18th.
Okay. I can beat that one. Oh. You guys, you okay with that, or?
At minimum, are we okay with the annual campaign
Yeah.
happening, whether or not she comes to department head
I'll think about that and let you know,
can-
Jenny.
That's fine. That's totally fine. And then the only other thing is if there's time in between this meeting and the executive session, Sheriff and I would like to talk to Kurt privately, please.
You're in trouble, Kurt.
Okay.
And we just finished yours.
Are you gonna,
What's new?
my hands behind my back or in front of my back?
Depends on how you answer.
Al?
Good morning. I believe I'm on the agenda for Monday to give a report on 2024 activities of my office. The VA just got their GDX report. They released it October 1st for 24. They normally do it in May or June, so I don't know what the big holdup was. I think we had a great year last year, though, considering everything. I do want to talk to you guys about Senate Bill 433. I found myself on a committee of the Service Officer Association collaborating with the IDVA about this bill and how they're looking at it and what they want to do. Last week, we do this all virtually, but they want to have every county have a full-time veteran service officer with hours that coincide with the hours of the rest of the county offices. That's going to impact a lot of counties, not just LaGrange County. You know, it sounds like an unfunded mandate to me, but
Well, it's new.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. You know, we've got veteran populations all the way from, 400 or 500 clear up to, 40,000 in counties. You get to Marion and Lake County. So I don't know what's going to happen there. They say they're communicating with your association. So I don't know what your position is going to be on a lot of
What do
this
you
stuff.
think? I mean, is it something we need full-time here in LaGrange County? I don't see
You know,
it.
I don't see it. I mean, our veteran population just continues to decline. It's down to 1,028 is what IDVA says, and the GDX report had it at 1051. When I started here, we had over 2,250 veterans. So, and our veteran population is very old. 76% of us are over 65 years old. So,
And how many out of that 1,000 or so uses the VA for anything?
well, I've got, since we started this new software program in 2016, I've got 480 veterans that I've added to that list now. I've never taken all the ones in my filing cabinets and scanned them into that system. I know that, that's another thing that IDVA wants us to do. They want to be able to look at everything, But there's this whole lot of moving parts to this legislation. They want it, part of it is that, well, in the standardization, what they're calling of offices, they want that in place January 1st of this year. They want that process. Actually, it starts June 1st, I think. But they want to vote on it by the commission's going to vote on this October 29th. That's what their schedule says. But I've got the minutes here from the coalition meeting last week. But anyway, one other thing, moving on there, the county burial benefits, resolution, requires that claim to be made within 90 days of the death.
Mhm.
And sometimes that just doesn't happen for whatever reason. I appreciate you guys, looking at the extenuating circumstances in some of these. And I've got a couple more coming down the pike that are over 90 days. But if a veteran's down in Florida, a lot of times, he dies down there. It's more than 90 days before the family gets these remains back up here. So anyway, so I'll see you guys Monday, and if you want any more information about Senate Bill 433 and what we're doing there, what IDB is doing, let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Al. Where we at? Doc, you and Alf got something, or?
I'll go first. Good morning.
Morning.
You guys have any questions for me first?
Mhm.
I'll try to be quick about this. You guys may know that intermittently the health department's asked to look at particularly E. coli in surface water. So
Yeah.
a year ago, I agreed that we would look at what is being asked. So Al and I did a study, and I'm not here to talk about the results of the study. The results of the policy, though, are Al and I decided that the health department is not really tasked by local ordinance or Indiana code to be involved in surveillance screening for contamination of surface water. And I don't remember the exact number, but there's something around 60 swimmable lakes, I think, in the county. And if we did it for 3 or 4 lakes, I would guess if I'm at one of the other lakes, I'd be asking, why are you not doing that for us? So if we start doing surface water surveillance on all the surface water in the county, I mean, we'd need at least another full-time employee just to do that, maybe 1.5. We don't have the funding for that. But mainly, it's not anywhere that I could find, and our attorney didn't find any, that we're tasked by county ordinance or state code to do it. And so I think it's something that we shouldn't be involved in for that reason.
I don't think you're gonna not find a lake or body of water out there that doesn't have it in there at one time or another during the year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it
There's a
is.
whole story to that.
I know,
So-
it's,
And I couldn't have answered it a year ago, but I can now. So I can,
you become an expert on it.
well, I wouldn't call myself an expert, no, but I know a lot more than I did. And I know that it's a subject that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts in this county, and I appreciate that. And I have been willing to make unofficial recommendations about how they should go about it. I've been advised that we don't want to get too official looking because it'll look like a health department policy and be mistaken for that, and that we shouldn't do that. But after a year of researching it and a lot of hours, I have made recommendations to the lake associations about what I think they should do about it. And our plan is to leave it at that. And if you guys want more from us, glad to look at it, but
So
it was a
going
year
forward, any lake association asks about this, you're just gonna recommend what you did to the other ones, or?
it's not the health department's policy. It's
Okay.
just my recommendation about how to they want to screen. And I don't think that's unreasonable with the number of septic systems and the amount of agriculture and the rising population pressure on the ecosystem, especially the lake ecosystem. I think it's reasonable to screen, and I gave them guidelines on how I think they should go about it.
Mhm.
But that it does not include the health department.
Okay.
So, not inflexible on it, but that's Al and I, Dr. Garcia and I are on the same page on what our role should be or shouldn't be in this.
Dr. Conway, you've been in contact, or Alf, with Soil and Water
Yes,
Okay.
through the year, soil and water was part of,
Every meeting it comes up, there's a group from the lakes comes in every meeting.
I'm aware.
I'll shut up.
Um,
They're beating it to death.
they can be difficult to talk to at times. And one of the problems is that came out in one of my meetings is a lot of the representatives who have been tasked by their lake group don't understand any of the science about what they're tasked with, and that's difficult. That came up in our meeting where we presented our findings to them, and it was difficult because there's a lot of science there, and some of them are just people who have taken on the task, but and as a longtime previous lake dweller, I get it. I understand, but I just don't think it's the job of the health department is what it boils down to. I think it can be done by the lake associations, and I after a year came up with how I think they should do it, but well, whether they accept that or not, I don't know. I'm not sure.
What, and maybe you don't know this is just me, because I'm sure this is a question we'll get. If they find something that is wrong, where do they go with it?
I gave them a pathway.
Okay, so they know that. Okay.
They've
been told that.
Yes, I don't know if they're interested in my advice on that. I'm not clear on that, but I gave them a pathway based on the science of it.
Okay, that's all I was worried about, because I'm sure one of us will be the call if they don't know where to go. Which is fine. I just make sure that
I was just advised to be careful that wasn't interpreted as health department policy.
Right.
So I've told everybody the story I just told you. I've told them all, and how willing they are to want that advice, I don't know. Secondly, I'd like to thank you guys a lot for your involvement in getting some remodeling done at the health department. The area that we're going to do some work on looks to me like it hasn't been even touched even wallpaper wise in maybe 40 years. So I really appreciate the updates. I think it'll be well received. That's what I got. Anything?
No.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Alf, you have anything? Nope. Jason?
I am currently working on bids of the repair of the wall. And can we ask commissioners to start decorating for Christmas Monday? No, but I'm hoping to have some bids for the repair of the wall for the highway building that got hit last week, Monday. So that's all I have.
the wall you hit on Monday, what?
The one he hit?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't formally asked to decorate the annex building for Christmas yet.
It's more than 60 days out.
Don't put any ideas in his head.
I know. Sheriff.
Good right now.
Tracy, you have your ordinance, you want your ordinances for Monday?
Yeah, I guess we could add that for Monday.
So the 350 cap in the funds.
Yeah.
You're good with it? After I gave you the copies, showed you what I had a concern about, but you're okay with those? Okay.
I'll bring them under old business then, unless you want to do them. Okay, is that okay?
Purdue?
We are continuing to advertise the account.
No luck yet?
No work yet.
No apps? Okay, Mark?
So I had a department, circuit court, that they've been having like wrong numbers styled to them and stuff quite a bit. So I started looking around with what reports I have with the new phone system and everything to see if there's any which way I can find out, which there really isn't, because again, it just shows the phone number coming in. So So kind of been throwing things up in the air on options and stuff. A lot of it is, suggested to them with the talk I had was, to even ask the people, where they get the number because they're asking for other departments like clerks or probation or prosecutors. Doing a quick Google search itself, which I did make a change because it had the wrong number for circuit court, which was someone that was not designated as their main number. Put that suggestion in, which Google did take it, so it's pointing at the right number. But looking at the stats and stuff, just for circuit court alone, the past 30 days, they've gotten only 15 direct calls to them with the main number that's been posted on the website. I didn't do a full search on the other ones and stuff, but one of the options I was thinking, and looking at other counties, not just here in Indiana, but just every other county, a lot of other counties and stuff about the main numbers. Some counties don't have main numbers because, like us, we have a main number posted on the website and every department's number on the website too, per their department. Looking at some stats for the last 30 days, so the county itself has received over 8,615 calls. Where 5% of it was for the main number at 895. One complaint I've gotten from Judge Waltz is the menu itself is pretty large because it has, press this for the courts, and then from there it's a sub menu there. And some of them will also go through their own auto attendant, which they have their own menu system. So, I mean, this is something I know the phone system's been like this for ages. So I don't know if it's just, it's kind of one of those is every phone director I've ever dealt with, I mean, with the main number, it's always out there. But also here, there is no county receptionist or anything like that, where there's, on the old phone system, it had a dial 0 for operator, which looking at that went nowhere. There wasn't even a voicemail, wasn't, and it's something I did remove from there because, again, there was no dedicated person that can point to who they need to or whatever and everything. I think with the circuit court raw numbers, I think people looked up Google, not knowing who they need to. They do a search for court and they do appear to be the first in Google search. I mean, I don't even know how to change something like that because that's Google's own search engine operation and stuff. I mean, I could put as much suggestion and stuff, but a lot of times with Google, they just, screen scrape whatever's on our website, post it on theirs and stuff. Because, I mean, it knows we open at 8. It's on our website. It's the only thing, I've never put anything up in there. I've tried to claim ownership of the information and with Google. It's a suggestion I can only do, and that is it. So
you're saying that people are dialing their number by mistake?
Yeah.
Because they can't look on the computer or on the online and figure out what the number is?
Yeah.
I mean, I just put in LaGrange County here and pulled it up. Department heads, it's got circuit court, 499-6391.
Yeah.
That's their number.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you can't fix stupid sometimes. People can't get on the internet and figure out what a number is. I mean, it's pretty simple. I can do it.
Right.
And I'm not a computer guy.
We get a lot of calls at our office. People just grab a number and call it. And,
Right.
Building planning, we're sending calls.
I mean, I don't understand. You're going to get,
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've gotten it where because of my old number was 86, we dial 68 and it goes to the clerks. It goes to Susan Howe's number. I mean, so
I don't know what you can do for that. I mean,
I don't either. Like I said, it was something that, I let Judge Waltz there know, bring it up and everything. And but
I mean, we're not going to hire somebody to answer the phone all day long and send it to the right people. I mean, that's not going to happen. I mean, I think the system works pretty good compared to what we used to have. I mean, you used to call one number up here and you're right, you get 0 for operator and it went nowhere.
Yeah.
My problem is when someone from the county calls out the number on people's caller IDs that just shows 6,300 and people aren't leaving messages. So if someone from the county calls someone, it'd be nice if they would leave a message because now they're calling whoever they can get and saying, someone called me and no one knows who called them. Oh, I do that with the office.
There's no way you can tie the name to that office to that number.
To their yeah, to their main number, yes.
I mean, if
when
say
they
Connie calls
call-
out, it says treasurer office.
That we can change the caller ID on their phone number itself.
I mean,
so
I
it
don't know why
doesn't
you
show
could-
as 6,300, when they call. But internal dialing and stuff, I mean, if it's, from like extension and stuff, it does show who it came from.
Yeah.
But I mean, to like Kurt's office, I mean, if they don't leave a voicemail, I mean, to me,
At one time, it was my understanding that like probation would make calls if they had an opening or if they needed to contact somebody. They don't leave messages because they have to talk to somebody.
Right.
So I think a lot of those were originating there. They just didn't leave a message because that's not their procedure.
Right.
So those people then dial back. Somebody called me from this number.
Yeah.
I don't do that. If I don't know the number, I don't call them.
Right.
But they would call in and we're just going, if they didn't leave a message, they must not have
Government.
needed to talk to you.
Yeah.
Click on that.
So,
And right there, you just scroll down.
I didn't know which one to push to get that.
I think at the very least, each department, when they call out, their IDs
Right.
shows who it is. I mean, that way, so they do call somebody, because and whoever, if they don't leave a message, call ID, say, hey, you got.
Oh yeah. And that's something, I mean, it's, this is really the first I've heard of it, anyone's complaint on, the main number, showing up. Again, this is one of those that if I don't have a work order, I don't know, what to change or what's going on either.
Jenny?
So Judge Wall brought this up to me because I got called over to his courtroom for an ADA concern about ASL, which is a totally separate issue. But while I was there, he brought up some other stuff. His specific issue is the main line in the menu. Circuit Court is number 1. So when people call 6300, because there is no auto attendant as far as like push 0 to get a ticket, we don't have that. They're just hitting 1. And so his ladies get a lot of just miscellaneous calls to be transferred elsewhere. And so.
Well, no, that is the auto attendant is the menu, and they're not dial 6301. You hit 1 for the courts.
Right.
And
But
then
coming into him, that's.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You still have to hit 1 for them again. So you have to hit 1 twice.
And then 1.
Right.
Yes, 1 and 1.
So then we put a different department in there, then it's going to be the same issue for them if that's all people are doing.
But I thought the point of you coming in here today was to talk about the fact that 6,300 only gets 5% of the calls, and
Well,
you need that.
yeah,
to
and I
eliminate
just-
out that issue altogether.
Well, and I brought that up. I did. I said this. I mean,
So the 6,300, where are people getting that? Where
on our bottom of the website
on the bottom?
shows 6,300 for each building location. That's
I see.
one spot I do now. You do a Google for LaGrange
So it's
County.
6,300 for all the 3 buildings.
Mhm.
Okay.
Why not? Why leave that there? It's misleading because you're not going to get anybody.
But that goes you to the menu.
That takes you
And they
to,
can choose who they want to talk to, right?
Mhm.
That's what you're saying. Dial into 6,300.
Yeah, but if you're
through
looking,
the menu and pick your.
if you
thing.
hit government, the first thing I see is government and elected officials and department heads. It's got all their phone numbers.
they're
You-
going to the bottom to look for what to do, is what's happening, if that's the case.
You're scrolling all the way to the bottom. You're passing all those phone numbers, which doesn't make sense if you know who you're looking for.
Which that's probably the problem, is they probably don't know who to look for, so they're just trying to get somebody live they can ask.
Oh, yeah, many times if you pick it up, I don't know who I need to talk to, but, and then they explain it, and so we send them off.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have that with anybody. I mean, I've done that before. I don't
Yeah.
know which department fits my thing.
I mean,
Or just give me somebody to talk to.
Representative.
I don't know what else
Yeah,
I don't know what else you can do. If you're going to leave it the way it is, there's just no way around it. It's going to be they're going to have to deal with it.
And the other
I
thing
mean-
I was thinking of with our website itself is to have an actual department directory, where instead of just having the 6,300 say at the bottom or whatever, I mean, right at the, the side note or the sidebar of the website, main part of the website, the homepage or whatever, to put in like a department directory.
I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Right on the front page,
Mhm.
who do I need? I want to call somebody, I don't want to look up their information. There's the list. I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, I'm looking at this and it says, okay, I don't know who I want to call on this list. which I think is crazy. If you're calling somebody, you should know who you want. I mean, at least which department you want to
They,
call.
they may not
But-
even be, so the problem is you go to the homepage,
Oh, is it on the homepage?
it's on the homepage too down at the bottom. And there's no way to, unless you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, but it has individual offices listed. That's
It does but if you go to the homepage, you got to hit government to get the individual offices. So if they don't know to go to government,
So they're going to homepage, they're scrolling to the bottom, which is where everybody puts their numbers.
Yep.
The contact info. And it's the same for all three, which makes sense.
so instead of having those three numbers down there, just have a department phone directory listed somewhere around the top. Or when they go into that homepage, phone directory.
That would be easier because if you put phone directory, then they won't necessarily be dialing just the 6,300. Maybe they'll look for who they're wanting. I don't know.
You know, I would take those numbers off down at the bottom and just have a phone directory on the main page here where they can just, as soon as it pops up, where the home, it says home government property tax, all that stuff, put phone directory up there.
Yeah.
That way they know right there, they go to the phone directory, they can get who they want.
They can click on the department they want.
And you're still gonna have them, I mean, because
You still
property
have a
tax
few.
could be my office.
Oh, you're always
Property
gonna
tax
have
could be
Right.
treasurer. could
But you
be
can still
assessor.
transfer them. Yeah.
But, so they'll call and say, I have a question about property tax. Okay, lay it on me,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, because it's not always us.
Yeah. It's not
We deal with
always
it. I
just,
mean, it's not a big deal.
you could always send it to Kim.
interesting. Look at the phone.
The phone's different. The phone app's different.
Sure is.
Oh,
Has
because
like-
it's
has all the-
condensed.
Has all the departments right at the top.
Yeah.
And then what you have at the top is at the bottom. That's the way it should be. That's the way you're suggesting it to be.
Yeah.
So on the phone, it brings up all the numbers when you, okay.
I looked at Terry's.
But you're looking at the,
We're just
you're
the
looking at a
opposite.
laptop or
Yeah,
a computer.
the
it's
condensed down
different.
version's obviously more of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably what most people are using anyways.
Yeah, most are
They're
using their
probably doing
phone.
it from their phone. But yeah, I don't know.
It has departments on it. So I don't know.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Bill?
I got a couple things, but I'm not sure if it's anything for Monday. First one's the sign we bought last year, a large programmable sign. It's got a software subscription that it's due. I don't know if that's something you guys need to worry about. Is that something you just want me to take care of?
Your sign, isn't it?
And that's the question. Do you want to sign it or do you want me to do it? I mean, I don't know.
How
I've
much
never
is
had
it?
a subscription. So it's for 1 year, it's $950, or you get a discount if you pay up to 3 years. So at 3 years, it's a 15% discount if we do that, which I've got that money this year that I could do the 3 year.
What kind of,
You're asking who should sign.
Yeah, it's just signing the subscription,
And they-
the software subscription.
If he's got the money, he can do it.
What?
So we'll
talking
bring that
serious.
Monday because you want them to sign it.
is it a contract or,
Yes.
have you seen it, Kurt?
Essentially. No, I just got.
But
an
I'm sure it
email,
is. If
just
they want a
dual
signature, it's a
quote.
contract.
Yeah. We'll give it to Kurt.
Unless it's on a check.
Well, that's all you got.
That's all it is. It's just, it basically just gives us the ability to go into the website and program the sign when we do it.
Oh, so you can't just plug into it and do it yourself.
I don't know. I've never tried it because we have this. This is a lot easier.
Looks fine to me, and yeah, I'd say have it approved Monday or
All right.
consideration for approval, one signature.
That figures.
Unlike the $750,000 one, which requires all of
All
it.
three of us, that's good.
Okay.
Anything else, Bill?
The only other thing, this weekend I received an email. I don't know if it's something you guys want to look into because they're basically asking the county to pay for it. Is some tornado sirens. People are concerned their area doesn't have the ability to hear. This one particular one came from Lima Township. I know I talked to you about Camp Potawatomi area. I mean, we've had a couple people recent, the last year or so, start reaching out. I can talk to these people. They're at my conference next week I'll be at. I can talk to Federal Signal, see about getting a survey done in the county. I mean, it's just, Lima Township specifically says they don't have the money to get it done. However, they would take on the electric expense after it's done.
They just put one at the fire station. We
Just
just
put one
paid
in
for
there.
one at the
We
fire.
just put one up at the toll road. This one, they're looking at Ontario,
Oh, well, that's, yeah. A little bit.
So they want them throughout the county.
possibly Twin, they're wanting to add them throughout, yeah. They want Ontario and Twin Lake area are the ones that they listed.
I was gonna say.
They go off every day. On Saturday, it's 2 or 3 minutes.
If it doesn't
I
hurt you,
know.
you give the people what they want till they decide they don't like it.
But see, they're gonna run.
Theirs is private. They just read, I don't know. That's
I
what they
can,
told me.
they want one at Potawatomi?
They told me they can't, they wanted.
I can
one
hear it
because
at
of
my
the
house. I
camp-
know they can hear
I
it
think
there.
it was more just because of the campers. They just want to make sure they have something on their own. So I gave them the price Shipshawana paid.
And that
and
was,
LaGrange
and that
paid.
was.
And
Shoot,
she
that's-
hasn't said anything since I gave her those
That's
prices.
several years
'cause I told her
ago.
we weren't paying for it. If you want it. here's
It's
the
several years
cost.
ago because they're expensive.
Yeah.
And you got the maintenance, you got the upkeep, I mean, it's,
And that's why I didn't want to answer them and say, yeah, I'll look into this. I mean, if the county's not interested in,
I don't know how the county can afford it.
that's kind of what I thought.
Because you're gonna want to stick it one in every,
And they've taken some out recently. Like I know the one at Milford School is no longer there. I mean, I shouldn't say recently. That's been several years
Really
ago
big
now.
One that's really loud, and stick it in LaGrange.
Top of the courthouse.
Really tall, really loud.
Mongo's had one for 60 years.
what'd you say?
Mongo's had one for 60 years.
Really? On fire station?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think we can pay for them.
I don't see how we could.
60.
Because once you start opening that up, I mean, everybody's gonna want,
Oh,
every
that's-
lake's gonna want one.
That's what I said. I could talk to Federal Signal next week at our
I
conference and
think that'd be
see.
coli.
I know they do surveys about where you can hear and they can kind of
Yeah.
give you a map of what areas.
As long
I
as they
don't know
do
if that's
surveys for free.
something. Oh, that's what I can ask them. I don't know how that works.
I doubt if it's free.
Oh, well, then
Nothing
that's a
is.
different conversation.
I just didn't want to commit to something and then have it be, we're not going to pay for it.
Will this take us off our disaster readiness?
But we got the sign. We're good.
Got the sign.
I mean, are there other counties that do this, Bill? I mean, other than the towns and that, and the cities and,
Steuben County has probably twice as many sirens as we have. They got them closer to their lake associations and things like that, which is areas that I've talked to. Lake associations are really interested. Down by Wolcottville's another one. They can't always hear it out at the lake, and that's where our
Maybe it's because
population,
I'm on
heavier
top of the hill.
population.
I don't know, but I can hear it every time it goes off. I'm right between Potawatomi and the lake.
It might be up, yeah.
It's probably because I'm on top of the hill. It's the only thing I can think of. I'm
I mean-
basically above the trees.
you could, you could easily spend over $1 million,
Oh yeah.
easy, for putting sirens in this county.
Oh, boy.
And I don't know. I mean, like I said, I can talk to them and see what a survey will do. If that gives, and then we can go from there.
If
As far
the
as-
survey's free,
I can ask them. I have no idea what they do.
I mean, I know ERS is supposed to be doing a survey for us on the radios.
Yeah,
I don't know where that's at. You heard anything on that, Sheriff?
We've got 800 still doing this.
They're still, 'cause I know they were also gonna do a survey to see where they put some new antennas or something too. I didn't know where they're at with that. They were gonna ask were they gonna ask to do that? No, what's it, name for that group that does all the radios and that in the statewide system?
Oh, IPSC.
Yeah, they were gonna check with them about doing a survey up here.
I mean, wherever they put their radio signals would probably be where you'd want the speakers because it's going to hit all the low spots.
I don't see, I guess you're at the conference, just ask them.
I'll just tell him we're gonna look into. I just wanted to answer his email, but I didn't want to answer it committing ourselves to anything.
No, I wouldn't commit to anything at this point, because
It all
that,
depends on budget constraints.
yeah,
Okay, sounds good.
thanks.
I'm sorry, what?
Gary,
Total cover.
Yeah.
Like 3,000.
nothing?
Here.
Zach, you have anything?
First off, I want to say I appreciate you guys looking at maybe that chicken barn AFO, CFO deal. I think it's environmental, public health and safety, and long-term concern of the quality of life of LaGrange citizens. So I'm all for private property rights and agricultural, pro-agricultural practices, but it's one of those things we have to look into as the population of LaGrange gets larger and the density gets much, much more. So, and 50 years ago we were concerned about this, but it's something that's really a concern today, I believe. But that aside, drainage board issue, we've been looking in for like the last 6 months into kind of overhauling and maybe changing the way we finance and fund regulated drains. I looked at this when I took over for Rex early on. I didn't have enough experience or knowledge to really jump into something new. So since I've taken over for Rex, we've just been doing the same thing that Rex did with the watersheds and the individual assessments. And it's okay. It's just gotten to a point where we've turned a lot more of them on, but we're at a threshold of how many more can we turn on and still manage with a 3-person staff, realistically with our deadlines. Sam has to go through and do all the splits, transfers each year, re-upload the spreadsheet, balance. And the more I turn on, the more of that there is to do. I don't want to go to council and ask for another part-time secretary, drainage board secretary to do that work. So I looked back into the option of the Cume Drain Fund that Elkhart uses, and I think another county over on the west side uses. Some counties can't use it because they don't have enough assessed value in the rural areas to fund it. I brought it to the drainage board. This changes a lot of things. I was 50-50 on it at first until we started diving more into it. We went to roundtable discussion with our neighboring counties that are in the St. Joe watershed. Elkhart gave a big speech on how it works. Tony from Kurt's office was there. 2 drainage board members were there. Me, Corey were there. Had a lot of questions and came back, gave a report to the drainage board, had some discussion. And it's something that we want to look into. Not a lot of drawbacks, there are a couple, but I would like to address your guys' concerns. Kevin's been in those discussions on the drainage board as well. And we want to pursue it as a drainage board. We think long-term, and for LaGrange County, it fits. It takes away a lot of the technicality tasks we have to do, but it really focuses on being able to take money and put them towards drain maintenance versus spending so much resources, time, energy, and money trying to turn a drain on. And you guys have sat through those public hearings before. I think Terry remembers some of those. They're not enjoyable. They're very stressful and very cumbersome. And this changes that. We don't have public hearings for generating money. But I'd like to answer any questions or concerns if you guys want to know anything more. I want you guys time to think about it. But the drainage board, after hearing about it, is pro for it. It's taken action by the commissioners and the council. So you're my first point of discussion to see what you feel about it, what you also want to know about it. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have that I can answer. If I don't know the answer, I can definitely figure out the answer for you. I give you some materials to look at it. But I want to talk to you guys while you're here at a staff meeting. It's nothing we have to bring up for Monday, but something that I would like to pursue and look into a little further. Do you guys have any questions offhand of how this works or the difference?
So if there's one of them I would have is if there's no public meeting, how do people know what's being turned on and off as far as?
So all drain funds would go off. So any drain fund we have now that's active gets turned off.
Okay.
That money in that account that was in there, let's say we have $100,000 for the Baker tile. When we do work on that, we have to exhaust that $100,000 first. Then they start pulling out of the Cume Drain Fund to maintain that. So we'd be turning off all active ditches and tiles that have maintenance money or assessments on, which just go flat. It goes to Cume.
So what's the tax on the public things?
Yep.
You're going to tax everybody now.
The Cume Drain Fund is set up in drainage code back in the day. I think some county like Kosciuszko County would love to do it. Unfortunately, all their high valued property is around incorporated areas that we can't assess incorporated areas with this method. That's one of the drawbacks. Meaning Wookaville, Shipshewana, Topeka, people in the town limits, we can't assess them. We do work
Getting drainage for free.
Not quite. Talk to Elkhart County. Typically, they enter into an interlocal agreement with Topeka. Let's say the bar tile's fallen down in Topeka, and they say we need it fixed. I said, well, you guys don't pay, and I'm not real motivated to fix it. And they've got water issues. We reach an agreement between the towns and the drainage board to say we'll pay for half, you guys pay for half, and or you vacate, like at the bar tile, we could vacate the top end, and we just maintain outside the town limits, and the town takes that over. there are those options. And before we got too far, if you guys have something you want to do, I'd talk to the towns and see how they want to address that. Interlocal agreements with Shipshewana, Topeka. The only drain that is really would be effective would be LaGrange here to Fly Creek, because it's the only drain that comes from here and goes through. But typically, the towns push for that because they're having drainage issues with storm drains not draining correctly. So they would push it and come to the drainage board and say, well, you guys aren't paying. Why can we fix all this? And interlocal agreements is how Elkhart's address those issues on that standpoint. How it's set up in a cum drain fund, you can assess from 1 cent up to 5 cents per $100 assessed value. So let's say we did 3 cents is what we've been talking about to get started with. And then after a couple of years, probably lowering it to 2 cents, even Elkhart's on the 1 cent per 100,000 or $100 assessed value. So for a $100,000 house, you pay $30 is what it closer to be. And 300,000 would be $90. That's kind of how it's set up.
What if there's no houses on a piece of property?
It's got assessed value still.
And how does that, it would be.
It's 1 to 5 cents per $100 assessed value. So
Okay.
So it's $3 for $1,000 and it's $30 for $100,000. So for the $300,000 property, it's $90. So it's enough, but a lot of lake residents that don't pay a lot of drain tax right now would be doing they're always complaining about drainage, whether in or going out. I can actually justify doing some work on the inlets or outlets more. So given that they're paying a large portion of the drain, cum drain fund into that because they got $500,000 or $600,000 houses, they do need work inlets and outlets to improve. I can justify doing the work. Right now, lake residents are always complaining about drainage, whether in or out, and it's like, well, and it's not only is it a paperwork thing upstairs with Sam and everything, it's also when I go out to some of his drainage issue and there's a tile blowhole from here to that wall, going to cost $1,000. He's like, well, how do we get that taken care of? I said, well, here's the petition, have a public hearing for the whole watershed. We spend tons of time and money to try to fix a small area when we don't have the flexibility to just go ahead and do that work.
So when there's a blowout like that, so what you're saying is that fund doesn't have any money in it.
Yep. But
aren't all the funds supposed to have a maintenance amount left in them?
No. So when I took over
So I thought when you assessed that there was always, you could reserve so much for maintenance in
only
a
if they've been on before or have a positive
Right. So at
value.
some point they've been on.
Not always. Sometimes they were established back in 1920, got built, never turned back on because it was built and constructed. Now we're at a point 100 years later, it's dilapidated. So there's a whole process to get it rebuilt. When I took over Rex, he had a few on, but the minimal amount just to get by. We turned at least twice to 3 times as much on, which kind of revamped up all the extra work we have to do in the office. And I realized that every time I turn one on, it's like it's a disaster as far as trying to re-educate, go through this whole process over and over again. It's like I'm taking a beating.
But all the ones you've turned on would have that money in there then.
Yes. Right now, the ones we have on have some money. Some are negative because we spent money and we're trying to pay it back.
Right.
So
But you'll recoup it through the assessment that some of the ones you've already turned on.
correct. The ones we have on,
The ones you have on, and then they'll have that extra fund already there.
yes, we exhaust that first. Yes, if we go to this cum drain fund, we exhaust that fund that's positive first.
Right.
It comes down to me being able to actually do some work without going through this huge process. And had the county have less population or less splits transfers, the demographics in LaGrange has changed drastically since 1998. I look at the parcels in 1998 and thought, wow, a whole lot less parcels, a whole lot less houses, a whole lot less going on. Just in the last 30 years has drastically changed the landscape, and it'll continue to change because it's changing at an exponential rate. I mean, Robbie's office we've been doing 18 on tech review for the last 2 months. It's like in 2 months, that's 36 plats and site plans, and those parcels are all getting utilized. And like I said, we have a pretty high rule assessed value of land due to the increased assessed value. So even 30 years ago, this may not be realistic to do because the cost price wasn't there enough. You couldn't get enough money for that, but we have that. The downside is the towns, which we can probably figure that out with an interlocal agreement on how to address those 4 towns in the corporate areas. The other problem is, when I talked to Kathy and I talked to Elkhart, it does fall within the property tax levy because it goes on your property taxes as a cum drain fund. So we talked about that too. We're gonna look into a little more of how much, realistically, we try to generate anywhere from $800,000 to $1 million a year to start with. And then after we get the money and work catches up, you water that down, because once you start getting ahead of it a little bit, you don't need as much money to maintain them as things are in better shape. So Elkhart County, They roughly got 2.5 million in the bank, and they probably assess $600,000 a year. But they don't need that much anymore because they have a reserve and their drains are in pretty good shape.
So they can hold that much in reserve.
Well, if you get too much built up, you want to lower your from 3 cents to
No,
2
I
cents to 1
understand that,
cent.
but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's kind of a lot to be in reserve.
Well, they have a lot of big drains. They're expensive too. At any given time, they could.
So this is tied to the property tax?
It is, it's like you said, inside the levy, so any rate, we're capped at how much you can go up each year, 4% lately. Any part of that he takes takes away from your other,
So what if they do away with property tax?
then you have to figure out another source.
Yeah, we could always, if something happens, we could always transfer back through an ordinance to go back to how we did it. In LaGrange County, the way it's changed and the way our office is set up, I mean, every other county in a 12 county radius has 2 secretaries. One does just drainage board stuff, one does the surveyor stuff. Sam's been doing both, and I'm about to put her to the max on turning these drains on when it comes time to upload the spreadsheets easier for the tax stuff. We're at a threshold where we gotta, during that time period, we have to have another person, which I don't want to do, or we have to figure out a different way of doing things. And I get tired of going out to these places to serve the public and saying, "Can't you fix this?" Like, yeah, I can. Here's process we have to go through all these steps and hoops and stuff. It's like, well, that seems stupid. I said, I'm not the one that made drainage code. I have to operate under it. So after being here for, I think 8, 9 years now, or been county surveyor for 7, I feel more comfortable. I feel we either have to make something change here if we want to keep moving on with maintaining these drains. Because at some point we spend so much time and energy trying to get the money. By the time I get the money, I'm exhausted. It's like, now I got to go out and try to lead a contract to design the tile, bid it out, award the bidder, watch it going in. It takes my focus more on construction and off of trying to generate the money that comes at pretty high task. And Tony was over there too. Like, there's just so many technicalities in this other one that we have to cross. So if you guys want information, I'd be happy to sit down and talk to you individually about it. If you have any questions that I can't answer, I will find that. But I'd like to know what you guys think or feel going forward with this and what we can and can't do, because that's where we're at.
For one thing, surprise accident, obviously the drains are getting older. He was talking 1920s. He's having a lot of problems. And I like the process. Everybody pays. And we spend a lot of money and time getting the money. That's the other thing that Zach's referring to, how much what he has to go through to get it done. And we said it here in these drainage meetings, and he's trying to put an assessment on, and Zach needs his bulletproof vest.
It's just another tax on people that they're not going to be happy with.
But it's really out there now. It's being paid, but it's not spread as much that it would be accumulated.
It's
we would have money in a fund to fix things rather than waiting.
But you got somebody that doesn't live in a drainage zone or anything, a wetland or any watersheds at all, and now they're going to be paying for something that doesn't affect them.
That's part of the downside, but there's the same excuse on a Cume Bridge fund. It's like, well, I don't drive over to those bridges, and my money pays to fix that bridge and that bridge.
Yeah.
I only drive 5 bridges a year. My money should only go
I
to those
just
5
think
bridges.
with what's coming on with the property tax maybe possibly going away, and the council's going to have to raise taxes in other areas. I don't know. I mean, it's a council decision on the tax.
Correct.
Yeah.
I want to know what your guys' feelings are and what concerns you may have.
I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. I mean, I can see some good, but I'm just not a big fan of more taxes right now.
So
But
it's we're transferring tax too, Terry. It's not like we're
yeah, but you're transferring to everybody in the county now.
that is the downside of it. I agree with you there.
You know, that's the only thing that people are going to look at. And
I will tell you, the largest landowner in LaGrange County who owns most of the ground that's not drained was pro for it. Because we did the spreadsheet to see which each people will be paying each parcel. We have that spreadsheet I can send you guys so you can see each parcel how much everybody pays given this formula. So I didn't just go out and just really willy-nilly think this up. It's something I looked at very early on. It's something I thought about very hard, and I'm not all for it in a lot of ways, but I think it's going to be more realistic to continue doing drainage work in the county. The other option is, hire more people and get more staff, and that increases taxes just the same, and we have to have more offices. I don't want to go that route if we want to continue to pursue like we've been doing. But right now we're at a kind of a threshold. Either how are we going to do this, So I'm open to ideas, or we could just go with the status quo we're doing now. And I could just, we do less work. That's the other option, which is fine too.
So it would, basically what would happen if we did this is it would come down to the drainage board says we're doing this and then you do it. There's no
Then do it.
other, there's no other discussion.
As
Is
far as
that,
what-
is that,
as far as
so
what-
if you decide to do something, the drainage board says we're doing it and then there's no other discussion about it from, I mean, that's the, I mean, that would be the step. If you want to do a drain, turn one on or not turn it on, I guess.
Do work on
If
a
you want to
drain.
do work on a drain, you go to the drainage board, they would say, yep, we're doing it. And then that's the last step to it. There's
There's a prioritization of.
no, I mean, as far as going to us
Oh,
or
yeah.
council or you don't
We
have to do any of
if
that.
we're reconstructing a drain, we still have to have small public hearings for the area we're doing work on. So if there's 5 landowners, we have a small public hearing. We can have those before a drainage board meeting, just notifying the work that's going to be done
Mhm.
through a small public hearing.
Right.
But it's not a public hearing to generate $10,000 a year per owner for the next 5 years or
Right.
whatever it may be.
Right.
The other task we have here that's, I mean, Kurt, Tony, and we all talked about this. There's drainage code, how it's written and how it's used upon. For instance, the drain over in Emma, to rebuild it would cost, in 1 year, would cost probably $650,000, $700,000 in one time. So we structure it over multiple years, kind of stretch the drainage code, but it makes it very cumbersome to, I'm kind of been in the rules of drainage code to try to get stuff done. I don't like it. It don't feel good. Kurt definitely don't like it. And I agree with him, but my job is to get the drains replaced. At what cost? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I like their current drain system, the way we do it, but I do not like the small staff with as many people we have in LaGrange County and the cost and the energy it takes to generate the money to fix a $1,000 blowhole in a field. I can't act fast. It takes me lots of time, and it's very burdensome for me and my office with a 3-person staff. That's what I'm trying to address here. It's not that I want to tax people on dry ground.
No, I'm not getting on that. I'm just trying to figure out what this process will be because, and what exactly can that tax exactly can it be used for? Can it be
Maintain and
used?
Fix all regulated drains.
But I mean, when you say maintain a drain, what does that include? Does that include?
Reconstruction, dipping a ditch, mowing brush, spraying aquatic weeds, any maintenance or reconstruction activities.
Which is
on all
very
regulated
broad.
drains.
I mean, you could, in all honesty, you could say, I need a new truck because I got to go out there to get
No,
assess it.
it's just for maintenance of the drains. No, I cannot buy equipment with this money. It goes for the maintenance of the drains. It's not something like, oh, I'll have a salary.
No, I'm not saying you're going to. I'm just saying, I mean,
That's
I
not allowed
want to
yet.
make sure that.
That's not allowed. I
Okay.
can't take money out of our drain funds to, there are some things I think you could pay for some legal expenses or engineering expenses if we're doing a major reconstruction for like the bar tile.
I would think engineering would be.
Correct. So if some stuff we can't design in-house, the bar tiles on the edge, like the big tiles, inline laser, we may sub like that one out. The rest of the small farm drain tiles we can do in-house, not a big deal. But the big ones in towns, those are a lot more cumbersome of utilities, roads, all this interlocal agreements. That gets a little more than just me and Corey could probably do in some aspects. So that money I think could be spent to help with engineering, but not for our office individually for buying a shovel or a truck or anything like that, which is not,
Yeah, just make sure it's not going to things that aren't.
So those are the 2 main drawbacks is what Terry just mentioned. Somebody paying over here, that's a drawback. That's a cost. And then also falling within the property tax levy with the breaker switch of how much can you charge and not go over how much this stuff. We have to look into that still. I'm trying to get a hold of Jeff that does stuff and just know, if we have a 50 amp breaker and we're at 30 amps and we're going to increase another 5 amps here, do we have the ability to do that or not? That's where we're at. So I know you guys' feelings and I want to give you guys some time to think about it. If it's something you're not going to pursue, I want to know why. So, and then it'll put me in more of a stagnation spot with the surveyor's office with our current status.
I think my opinion is, I think there's still some questions that need to be answered, whether there can be agreements with towns. I mean, I think that you need to have the agreements with them set up before we pull the trigger on this, because they could say no. We ain't funding it. I mean, I'm not saying they will, but they could come back and say, no, we ain't funding it.
Yeah.
We ain't paying
We
nothing.
discussed that.
If that's the
Um,
case, I would petition the drainage board to vacate all drains within town limits.
Well, no, I know, I'm just saying, these are things that I'd like to see before I could make a decision.
You
If
guys-
the towns are in agreement,
I don't think there's any disagreement with that with you, Pete, either. I think.
yeah,
You guys
So we
mind
need
sending
to
me an
do-
email with those concerns you have so I can go to the towns and address those and get back to you guys? I need those written down so I can address them.
I guess it
Why
doesn't
not?
matter, yeah.
Okay.
Let's look into it.
I
think it's something to pursue.
I think there's some other things that I'm concerned about, the taxes. I mean, that is one thing, because we don't know.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I would not want to I'd want to make sure the council agrees with that. That's
Correct.
something
I
they want to come
completely agree.
out.
If it's not feasible to do, then
Um,
it's not going to be realistic to do. I understand.
You know, I see both sides of this. I really do. So I'm kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's something I'm not gonna sit here and say right now, no, I'm never gonna be in favor of it.
Do you mind texting me or emailing me, Pete, those handful of concerns you may have so I can get those pinned down?
Yeah.
Terry, do you have any by chance? I know you're not for it because it's another tax, but we're trying to get rid of a tax too.
Yeah, but you replace it with a tax, so it's.
Correct.
and
But it
it's-
makes my
But,
job. It makes
but then
our
again, the oversight, I mean, you'll have all that money and who says you get to spend all that money? Do you have to go to council?
board, drainage board.
No, I mean, does the council have any say in this at all about the money? Since it's a
So-
tax they're gonna have to
So
implement.
How Elkhart County does it is the $2.5 million is in council's control. Each year they budget how much money they want to spend on drain maintenance. So if they want to spend $1 million, they'll put in their budget to take $1 million, potential money to spend, just like we do now, to spend on drains. They have to have projects laid out.
Yeah.
So it's not just, here, you got $2.5 million, Zach, do what you want with it. Each year, the surveyor's office comes from the council and say, we're planning on doing these 5 projects and this much drainage work. We want $800,000 or $1 million, whatever we think we may need for that year. They never request the full 2.5 million because Elkhart says first of all, it can't say much work. It's too cumbersome. So they have a layout each year of the work they want to do, the projected cost, and they budget for that.
Yeah. So Kathy, how's that gonna affect our property tax if he adds on to that? Is it gonna?
Like I said, it's within the levy, so whatever money he takes, removes it from somewhere else. I do know the reason that earlier, and Theron can speak to this, they talked about increasing Cume Bridge, which is also inside the levy, and they decided not to because it's taken away from county
From one
general
place
or
to
the
the
other funds.
Yeah.
So
It just
it's
moves
like-
the money that you're getting.
It just takes same amount of money, just gets shifted differently.
I see.
It doesn't increase. If we're at max levy, it does
We're
not
at max,
increase
yeah.
more revenue.
Okay.
For the way it is currently, here's your property tax bill,
It's on top
and
of it.
here's on top of it, your
Top of it,
drainage
yeah.
project. So that's the only thing.
Correct. Those are 2 biggest concerns. The one Terry mentioned about some over here, and then those are my concerns as well, Terry. It's not that I don't think.
Yeah, I just said, you're asking for 3% or something like that, or 3 cents, and then we got to take $1 million from some other place in the county. Who's going to suffer? I mean,
Mhm.
do we take it from other departments? I mean, I don't know.
It's gonna come out of somebody's department.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has to.
it depends with our.
Take it out of the sheriff's office.
With our max property tax, there's a.
You looked up at that one.
Yeah, I don't know. That's for Jeff, and the council should know more. As
Yeah,
far as,
I mean, that's
we have a
something,
50 amp breaker, and we're running
Yeah.
30 amps. How many more amps can we add to the breaker before it breaks?
that's something council's going to have to look at. So, but,
Yeah.
So
I think the biggest thing would be to see if the towns will be on board or not. You have to give the
Okay.
councils.
towns, give me that information you guys want to know, so I can get back with you in a couple weeks here.
Can you use the Cume drain funds to install a new regulated ditch? Or is there any other process that has to go through that? Is it only existing?
You had to petition to establish a new drain, and there's a public hearing of that. This gets rid of this.
With the affected landowners?
Correct.
Okay.
We had this gets rid of the public hearings to generate assessments, put on assessments.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff we have public hearings for. We still have small public hearings for construction projects. So if we're doing
I understood that. It was just the creation. of
anytime you
new-
establish one, vacate one, there's still public hearings with those people involved in that place. Yes. And those are pretty easy. The ones that are tough are more trying to increase the assessments. And there's a lot of, and my first public hearing was with Terry here. He's the only one here for that one. I looked at today, it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. I think I drank 4 bottles of water, lost my voice. It was like, this is absurd.
That's a good day.
And it was a lot of work. and we would alleviate some of that stress and work. And
4 hours of Zach's not a good day.
Yeah, we say he lost his voice.
yeah, it was early on, and I was learning a lot, and I've went through it, and I see benefits of both sides. But I know for our office to be efficient, productive, this would be given the demographics of LaGrange County. If we had 10,000 people and we weren't growing and we weren't splitting and weren't transferring, it would be not a big deal to keep what we're doing. I think we could manage it, but it's gotten pretty
All right.
intense.
All right. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Yeah, Zach.
Do you have anything, Kathy?
No, I don't think so.
Kurt? Okay, well, we're done except for executive session. We look at
Except for,
All right.
executive session.
okay, I gotta see John. He leave.
I guess you gotta be seen by the sheriff.